What is environmental impact assessment? Have you ever wondered how projects like highways, buildings, or industrial sites are evaluated for their impact on the environment? That's where environmental impact assessment comes in. This systematic process helps identify, evaluate, and analyze the potential environmental effects of a proposed project before it gets underway. The main goal is to ensure that decision-makers consider environmental consequences and take steps to minimize negative impacts while supporting sustainable development. At its core, an environmental impact assessment serves as both a planning and disclosure document. It provides clear information about the environmental, social, and economic effects of a project. This transparency helps in making informed decisions and keeps the public aware of potential impacts. Several key components make up an environmental impact assessment. First, the water environment is evaluated to see how the project may affect water quality, availability, and aquatic ecosystems. Next is the biological environment, which assesses impacts on biodiversity, including plants, animals, and their habitats. The land environment looks at soil quality, land use changes, and any potential erosion or contamination. The air environment is also analyzed, focusing on air quality impacts, emissions, and pollution. Noise pollution is examined to understand its effects on nearby communities and wildlife. Additionally, the socio-economic and health environment studies how the project influences local communities, livelihoods, public health, and overall well-being. Risk assessment identifies potential hazards and risks associated with the project, along with recommendations for managing these risks. Lastly, an environmental management plan outlines how environmental impacts will be managed, monitored, and mitigated throughout the project's life cycle. The environmental impact assessment process typically involves several stages. First is screening, which determines whether a full assessment is necessary. Next comes scoping, where key environmental issues and impacts are identified. The impact analysis assesses the magnitude and significance of potential effects. Then, mitigation proposes measures to avoid, reduce, or compensate for adverse impacts. Finally, public participation and consultation involve stakeholders and the public to gather input and address concerns. For students in colleges and universities, especially those majoring in environmental engineering, understanding environmental impact assessment is essential. They learn how to conduct these assessments as part of their training, preparing them for careers that involve planning, designing, and managing projects with environmental considerations. This knowledge equips graduates to contribute to sustainable development by ensuring projects comply with environmental regulations and minimize harm to ecosystems and communities. In practical terms, environmental engineering majors apply environmental impact assessment principles to real-world scenarios like infrastructure development and resource management. They analyze data related to air and water quality, assess risks, and develop management plans that align with legal and ethical standards. This expertise supports career paths in government agencies, consulting firms, industry, and non-governmental organizations focused on environmental protection and sustainable development.